All right, welcome back to LympFit's 2 Minute Tuesdays. I'm Ryan. I hope everyone's had a great start to the week with their health, fitness and nutritional goals. So this week's 2 Minute Tuesday is an interesting one. Dale asked, what are the best measuring protocols that I tend to use or that one should use to measure progress? So this was quite an interesting one. So let's put 2 minutes on the clock and see what we can do. All right, so at the end of the day, if we go back to goal setting, we've got to know where we're starting and we've got to know where we're going to go, and we've got to know how to measure that progress along the way. So standard unit of measurement, of course, for most people is scale weight. Now, I've never been a big fan of scale weight, but from a progressive unit measurement standpoint, for most people it makes sense. It's easy, it's something you can do. But I do have a couple of rules when it comes to measuring scale weight. Don't do it every day. Once again, remember, success breeds success, and scale weight can fluctuate 1.5 to 3 kilos just during the cycle of the day, depending on hydration levels, food, etc. Measure yourself once a week at most, at the same time, every day, on the same routine. So I usually suggest first thing in the morning, when you get out of bed, usually most people go to the toilet, do it straight away after you've gone to the toilet. Generally try and make sure you're wearing the same clothes. Most people would usually have their own bedtime clothes, etc. Wear the same clothes at the same time during the same routine. All right, that'll give you some at least good statistical data that's going to be relatively useful for you to use. Secondary to that is photos. All right, you can't go past photos. I like doing photos once a month for most of my clients. At the end of the day, we're very visual beings, so we like to see ourselves, like people like to see their progress in the mirror. At the end of the day, most people want to improve their body composition so they look better naked, technically. That's what most people's ultimate goal is. Most people won't say that, but that's what their goal is. People think that by saying that it makes them look shallow or whatever. Look, at the end of the day, if that's your goal, that's your goal. It doesn't matter. It's your goal. It's your body. It's your progress. If that's your goal and that helps you get to where you want to get to, all the power to you. So photos is always good. Rules with photos. Photos have to be in the same spot with the same lighting, once again, at the same time of day. Keep the, how should we put this? Keep the things that you can control in control. So you can control the time of day you take the photo, you can control the lighting, etc. So keep it all standardized, so to speak. So we want to create a standard because, like I said, weight can fluctuate 1 to 3 kilos depending on the time of day. All right, number 3, I would look at doing measurements. Now, measurements are easy. You just use a bit of your clothing measuring tape or whatever. Generally, you're looking at midpoints. All right, so the midpoint between, say, the shoulder and your elbow, midpoint of your arm, chest, belly button, widest part of your buttocks, the middle of the thigh, the widest part of the calf. I like doing the neck, all right, because most people, all right, so when we lose weight, most people want to just lose weight from their belly, and it doesn't work that way. Generally, when we drop body fat, we initially drop it around our organs first, so our visceral fat, and then we start losing it from the areas we can see, which are subcutaneous fat. And most people, if we take hormones out of play, will generally lose it from what they call the point of the most gravitational pull. So most people will generally lose weight off their neck and then off the top of their chest first, well, cheeks and then neck. So around the neck is always a good one to do as well. All right, after measurements, now we're starting to get a little bit technical. You need some skill in doing these measurements. So you're looking at skin folds. So unless you, look, I've done skin folds in the past. I've done courses where I've done them for 8 hours a day and skin fold tested everyone for 3 or 4 weeks straight. And I still have trouble with, we'll say, consistency. Now, will the consistency be drastic? No, but in terms of if I'm trying to get someone ready for figure competition, I will choose other avenues, purely because, like, skin folds are, don't get me wrong, they're all great. And if you do skin folds 8 hours a day, 7 days a week or 5 days a week, you get really good at it, just like anything else. But most personal trainers, most strength conditioning coaches, they aren't doing that. They're doing it purely as we'll call it almost moonlighting as a skin fold tester. So I'm not a big fan of skin folds. If you're really interested in knowing exactly how much lean body mass, how much body fat, etc. you're getting, I would move towards more like a DEXA scan. Most medical imaging facilities will be able to do a DEXA scan for you these days, and they're very accurate. And then of course, after that, you're looking at hydrostatic weighing, which involves water, which most people don't have access to. So to recap, weight, scale weight, measure at the same time on the same day, once a week, all right, with the same routine. So once again, first thing in the morning, you get out of bed, you go to the toilet, that's when you weigh yourself, all right? Second, photos. Big fan of photos because they'll also show you progress, and people because most people look at themselves in the mirror every day, they don't see any change because they're seeing themselves every day, and the changes are so minute that you just don't notice them. So photos, I suggest a month apart is always a good one. Same lighting, same time of the day, same protocol as the scale weight. Third, and probably the last one that I would recommend using for yourself, unless you want to get full blown into it and look at DEXA scanning, would be measurements. Once again, measure the same statistical data has to be standardized. So at the same time of day, same day of the week, once a month would be more than enough at the same location. So get a good idea of where the widest parts of, say, your arm is, or take measurements from bony landmarks. For most people, just choose the widest part, all right? Chest, belly button, widest part of the butt, widest part of the thigh, widest part of the calf. All right, I hope this has helped. I hope I've shed some light on the best measuring modalities to use for your body composition goals. If you enjoy this, got a lot out of it, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week for 2 Minute Tuesdays. Thank you.